Is there this is a good question. Is there a limitation period to file a claim as a result of an accident? The reason is my niece had a car accident approximately 1.5 years ago, and due to this accident, she can't compete in horse jumping anymore. The doctors told her if she fell off a horse that she could possibly die. She was not at fault in the car crash. So is there a limitation period to file a claim? That's a good question. Is there a statute of limitations?
There sure is, and unfortunately this lady's niece is still within the time limit. It's 2 years.
It is 2 years.
Yeah, it's 2 years from the date of the accident, or you know, there is some wiggle room, but you should really try to get it in within 2 years.
So what do you have to do within that 2-year period? Contact a lawyer and have them file a claim, or do you have to actually state what?
You have to have something filed with the court. You can do it on your own,
right.
But you or a lawyer have to file something with the court.
Yeah.
So I had a lady call me last week who had been negotiating with someone on her personal injury claim, and back and forth with the insurance company. All of a sudden the insurance company said, ha ha, you're out of time, because the 2 years had passed while they were negotiating. So that's not good enough. Negotiating, she hadn't filed. She was doing it on her own, which often you can do with a small claim, but you got to keep your eye on that calendar.
Did the insurance company just, you know?
Too bad, so sad.
Did they string it along to?
Well, who knows, right? Once I know I can't do anything from her, I don't get the whole story.
Sure.
But that's it. It's the 2 years is pretty strict.
I'm sure nothing surprises you, Brenda.
No, nothing does. Unless it's a child.
Yeah.
And then it's 2 years from the time that they reach adulthood. So usually it's their 20th birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, time doesn't run for children.
Gotcha. Understood. That is good to know, though.
Yeah.
2 years in most cases. All right, we've got Jerry on the phone from Orleans. Hi, Jerry. How are you?
Hi. How are you doing?
Good, good, good. You have a question for Brenda this morning?
Yeah, I remember an incident where she says you have to call the police for the insurance, but police came, he seen there was less than $1,000 damage, and he walks away and doesn't do no report. So if you can't get the police to do anything on their part, how are you going to work with the insurance on it?
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah, it is tricky. I mean, sometimes, especially if they're busy, they won't do anything. But if they attend a scene, they may not do an accident report, but they will have duty book notes. So if for some reason you needed the police notes, there would be a way to get them, even if there wasn't a formal motor vehicle accident report done.
Really?
So, yeah. I mean, if it's a minor fender bender and you're only dealing with property damage, you have to use your judgment about calling the police. But if you have an injury, the officer's supposed to do a report.
Yes. Any sort of injury.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what it's going to develop into. And the officers know that, you know, just because you feel a small injury at the accident scene doesn't mean it's not going to be more serious.
I think that's it's a point we should reiterate as much as possible. Despite the fact that nothing may have occurred at the particular time in the form of injuries, or it's pretty clear as to who's at fault and all that sort of thing, take the pictures, make the phone calls you need to make just to protect yourself in the end, because things change in these cases.
Oh, absolutely. You don't know 15 minutes after the accident, half an hour after the accident, what your injury is going to be. I mean, I had somebody who felt minor neck pain after the accident, who turns out hasn't been back to work for 3.5 years, despite really, really trying.
Because of that.
Because of the accident. Yep. So you just don't know.
Wow.
The body is strange.
We've got, is it Bonnie? Connie's on the phone from Gatineau. Hi, Connie. How are you?
Good.
Good, good. What's your question today?
Okay, like, for instance, yesterday, I'm a Quebec resident, and yesterday I was at the Rio Carlton racetrack.
Right.
And as my husband and I were leaving, we always go to the bathroom because there's a 2-hour drive home.
Right.
And some gentleman pulled into the parking lot and hit our car.
Oh, yeah?
My husband yells at him, and the guy gets out and starts laughing. And he goes, there's nothing wrong, and then he just takes off on us.
Oh, he just left the scene?
Yeah. Would that be considered a hit and run?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right.
That is a hit and run.
Thanks, Connie.
And I was just wondering if anything else could have been done about that.
What do you do about that after the fact? Did you manage to get his license plate or anything?
Part of it. My husband won't give me the other half of it.
But does your husband have the full number?
Well, what we always do is I always say to him, get the first half, and I'll get the second half.
Gotcha.
Right. Smart.
Gotcha. But you do have information.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, well...
What do they do now?
Well, is anybody injured?
Oh, they're gone.
Like we were just he got in the car, started, and I was coming into the parking lot. And I saw the guy, and I heard my husband yell, and I knew something was wrong. So I start walking real quick, and I was grabbing my cell phone out because I knew something was wrong.
Right.
And I was going to take photos, but the guy took off.
Right.
Well, if nobody's injured, then you'll be dealing with your insurance on the property damage claim, so the damage to your vehicle. If you explain the story and you have the partial license plate and a description of the car, they'll probably be able to help you out with taking care of the collision and not having you at fault for it. Mm-hmm. If somebody were injured, though, and it's a hit and run, or somebody with no insurance, most people in Ontario have coverage on their insurance policy to protect for exactly that situation.
Right.
So then you want to make sure you report the claim to your own insurance company ASAP.
Okay.
Because you're not necessarily out of luck.
So the first thing you do, if there's a crash, we'll go through this real quick. If there's a crash, you should first of all make sure you're okay and the other person involved is okay.
Yep.
You should get their information.
Yes.
You should take pictures.
Yes.
See if there are any witnesses
Yeah.
on your own before anybody arrives.
If you can, if you're able, and it seems like the right thing to do, you can usually tell from the scene whether that's the right thing to do. Yes.
Contact police, and while you're waiting for all this to happen.
Yep.
For the police to arrive, you can accomplish a lot of things just to keep yourself safe.
Right, and make sure you're out of harm's way, like we were talking about, not in the middle of the street doing this. People get injured while waiting after a small collision. They get injured badly.
Exactly.
They're outside their car.
All right.
And then you call your insurance company.
Yeah.
You should really notify them of a claim within 7 days.
Right.
If you can.
Same day if you can. Call your agent and make sure you have that phone number and the name, because it's oftentimes, I think people, sure the name of your agent is on your little your pink insurance card, right? Yeah. It should be right at the top. I always keep that attached to the little card, because then I remember the guys. I don't deal with them all the time.
Sure.
And I don't know the phone number.
Right.
But if you have it, you should always have that with you.
Yeah, and remember, if your car gets towed, take it out of the car.
Yes, don't forget that. You're going to need that. You can point.